Welcome to another Field of Glory 2 battle. This is part of the Chaos Tourney organized by Carvon on the Slytherin forums. It's potluck armies with geographic and timeline filters turned off, so you can get anyone. And in this case, I have the Armenians under their king Tigranes, or at least I think he was a king, versus the Grey Mousers Graeco-Bactrians. At least I think it's a Grey Mouser. We'll see. We'll see next time I load up the turn. So anyway, we'll see what he can bring to bear. Up to 5 light infantry. Although the Cretans are kind of expensive, so I don't know if you'll bother bringing those. For mediums, you can get Irregular Foot or Thyriophoroi. Heavy Foot, just 2 units, but they are pike phalanx, so strong. 2 units of elephants available, and otherwise, the strength is in cavalry. Lancer types, the Zistophoroi and Armored Noble Lancers are identical units, or cataphracts, and then a number of light horse. So, how do we fight lots of cavalry? We can get cataphracts of our own, but they won't do too well against the elephants, so we'll need to be careful. Hills are irritating. If I were to deploy defensively, I would have 2 options. I could occupy this rough on the left, or I could occupy this obstacle with infantry. I might try deploying defensively and seeing what response I get to that. There we go, our squishy infantry in the obstacles. And I believe, do I want, yes, I suppose I do want the pikemen. If he brings his own or elephants, they'll be useful. And I do intend to max out on Lightfoot. There we go. So 360 points remaining. Do I want more infantry? I think no. I think I should invest the rest in cavalry. We'll have horse archers over here to hopefully help deal with elephants. So that leaves an army based on cataphracts, which is not really my favorite unit. They're slow and they're expensive and they can't evade, but they're what I got. Then I will grab some more light horse archers. So this is a defensive deployment. If he has an army composition that I feel like I can safely attack, I can move out from here. I would probably mix my deployment a little bit to get either pikemen or cataphracts into the center of my infantry line to protect these massed archers, because the irregular foot can't really do the job outside of the enclosures. I will drop one of these and bring imitation legionaries. There we go. So under commanders, 1, 2, 3, and we'll do 4. Just so. Next turn. Alright. 7 light horse, 4 light foot. As opposed to what? 4 light horse, 7, 8 light foot. Okay. That's a lot of light horse, but we should be able to work with that. Failing guides, irregulars, cataphracts, lancers. Okay, pretty cavalry heavy. Stay like that for now. Probably want to commit some skirmishers to the left. In fact, in general, I think I'll be committing skirmishers to the wings because we have masked archers in the center and he doesn't have too many lights here. Next turn. That is intimidating. Right, into the marsh. Infantry support will advance alongside our lights. Keep the cataphracts in reserve for now. Be thrilled if he slammed head-on into my enclosure here, but I kind of doubt that that's going to happen. Next turn. Good start. See, we can wear down these 3 units and start putting pressure on the non-light foot. I think I will shift some lights out of this wood to our right wing, where it looks like we'll need them. Good. Pressure here, withdraw here, and then if he stops advancing, then we'll figure out how to advance ourselves. It will most likely be with the wings of cataphracts and phalanxes leading, and the center with the master archers and irregulars holding back, but still close enough to pin. Next turn. Alright, let the skirmishing begin. That's fine, they can absorb some arrow fire. I'm sure they're not thrilled about it, but they're not so unthrilled about it they're likely to drop cohesion. None of this really matters very much. I wish he would come closer. And we'll edge forward a little bit here. And I think that's good for now. We'll try to win this and see if we can't force a little bit more fragmentation here. And our phalanx will probably need to push that way. In fact, this whole sector will probably need to pivot, as it seems like he will not be obligingly hurling his entire army into our enclosures. Next turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, take cover behind the infantry, and lend your support, please. Good. Good. Get in charge arc. And although this will lead to us pursuing off the field, maybe, I still want to do it. Target the lancers. And rush more skirmishers down that way. Good. So we'll begin a general advance here. Let's see how he reacts here. Next turn. Sure, my imitation legionaries can handle that. They do have some armor after all. Oh, at least they might come back in a useful direction. Well, hold on. Oh, the elephants are out of range. Although, there's no good way to harass them, unfortunately. Let's shuffle these out of the way, see if we can do any cohesion checks. Held firm. So the answer is no. Okay. Let's see. Held firm again. Get these masked archers into the rough. Still have this to deal with. Why don't we just give these a push? Get out of the way, thank you. Have our cataphracts tend to engage his cavalry. Run. And take cover. And keep drawing these Thurios away if you can. So, I don't know what I'm doing with my big line of squishy infantry now. They're going to wait a little bit to get involved, I think. Maybe not. Maybe it's time to move. I think it might be time to move because our cataphracts are arriving to support. Oh, let's just see what happens. It's always what you say before good things happen, right? Come on, shove off. No. Alright. Indeed. Let's see. Just get out of charge arc, I think. Okay. Not bad. I don't know why I'm attacking. I think I just got impatient. It also looks like he's deployed not to bother charging my enclosures after all. Next turn. Good timing, guys. See if we can't frag this unit. Good. Okay, what are we to do here to prevent these elephants just crashing into us? So if we move here, we can at least temporarily zone of control lock. How unfortunate. Could also just do this and see. Well, if he charges, we can get the flank, unless he covers with Fistoflodoi. It's all very confusing. Let's also get the zone of control lock then. And then try to disrupt these lancers before they crash into my irregulars. Try harder, please. Alright. No, they say. Oh good, you're back. We need you. That's tempting. That's also tempting. Nope. And lock them in and hope for best. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like that either. Lovely. Well, this is what I get for leaving my beautiful defensive position. Next turn. Apparently my bowmen stand up to a charge of lancers. Let's see what he's talking about. Oh. That is pretty lucky, I will admit. Break this on a control lock. Well, this is looking kind of bad. Might actually be worth just trying to break this unit. Well, first let's see if we can't disrupt the lancers with our lights. Break them. Perfect. It's still pretty tough. We could take a risk. We could general up on the cataphracts to try to rally them. And then charge the elephants. Oof. Well, we held firm, so now we should gradually win that melee. Let's just do that for laughs. Oh, why did they stick? I would have thought they'd fallen back. That's... Well, guess we're going to see how that goes. Well, we've nearly won the utterly pointless lights battle over here. see if our cataphracts can't do something here. This is alarming, actually. If these phalangites engage our pikemen, then the cataphracts can hit us in the flank. So that might call for doing a thing I don't generally like to do, which is form a square. Right, very messy. Some bad flanks incoming for us. Next turn. Alright, it's charging her square. Oh, this is looking quite bad. This is looking bad. Okay, risk 1. Very good. Risk 2. Well, it happens. Next up, see where the pursuit takes him. To the irregular. Nope. Ooh. Alright, what's our chances? Not as bad as they could be. Good. Prefer to double drop. Now there's still a risk if I... Oh shit. That means we're probably going to lose the phalanx to a pursuit charge. Which means we've been just a touch too slow, I think. Some pressure on the Zistophoroi. Yeah, this is looking bad though. I shouldn't have moved. Should have stayed where I was. Oh well, that happens. Try to maneuver in such a way that these two units can cooperate to fight the Thuriophoroi, which could take on either one of them pretty easily. But this is looking bad, mainly from the general dying. Could lead to a complete roll-up right when we're on the brink of breaking these elephants and spreading panic too. Next turn. That was the important one. Do we hold firm? Yes. Good. Okay. Could be worse. Now, what damage does that cause? Disrupted the phalanx. That's good. Let's get stuck in. And then go for a frag on this unit if we can. Held firm. Very good. It's kind of bad when most of the fighting is on completely even terms. That means these are both up to chance, really. Although I suppose the irregulars will join in the fun and turn it against our cataphracts there. Shove them off the map. Very good. And here we will want to move our phalanx out of cohesion check range for when the cataphracts collapse into flight. So with that in mind, we'll move here. Very messy. Very much up in the air. If these phalangites rally, we could have a problem. We don't have a good way to push these disrupted irregular foot, which is too bad. So we'll have to try to frag and break them by fire. Next turn. Mouser is feeling a bit unlucky. I know that feeling. Oh, yeah. Both of my frag units held. It was pretty nice for me. So we just bounce that. Yep. Ooh, he's gonna go for the flank on the irregulars. Ah, his frag unit held firm too. Oh, nice rallies though. Do they disrupt? What about now? Nope. What are our odds? Not bad thanks to the 50 armor advantage and the commander. Very good. Push, because we need to keep this cavalry unit pinned so it can't hit our cataphracts in the rear. Bounce, too bad. Held firm. There we go. Should keep those units off of us for the moment. Now we have nowhere to retreat, so we really... Perfect. We needed that quite badly. Could go for the frag. Well, let's see. How is this? Oh, good. So the Master Archers are now protected because they're behind the obstacle. And, let's see. The Noble Lancers don't get their Swordsman trait because they're fighting, again, across an obstacle. So, that leaves things looking very good. Unfortunately, though, we are going to need to zone of control lock the irregular foot with our archers, who will get cut up. But hopefully when these lancers break, they'll infect the irregular foot with panic. If not, hopefully when we lose the combat against them, we can hold firm and fall back behind the obstacle. Ideally. Held firm again. Thank you. Alright, next up... An attack here might be dangerous in the sense that this unit or this unit could conceivably find a way to threaten their rear, especially when this unit breaks, but I'm going to take the risk with the hope that these pike phalanx break soon and we crash into their rear. That's the plan anyway. Held firm, fell back. That's fine. Good. Now, do we charge? Let's charge in. Melee is not great, but hopefully we can just stick for one turn. And threaten this flank. Perfect. So the cataphracts are, I believe, severely disordered by the rough ground. Yep. Normally, that's not a wonderful feature of cataphracts, but what that means here is that they were more likely to stop pursuing, which they did, so next turn I can turn them around to threaten these infantry units. So, this is suddenly going much better, thanks to these two fragged units holding on just long enough, and this phalanx dropping from disrupted to fragmented. Very helpful. Grey Mouser says, well, this will likely be game as my pike appears to be succumbing and I still can't break a fragged cataphract. Yeah, they are heroes, really. Heroes work here. Impact, we fail? No, we didn't even fail it. Do they test? No. Do they? No. Bounce them. Good. Ah. Well, they're being pretty heroic themselves. They rallied up from fragged. I absolutely love it. And they just ran. Held firm again. Too bad. Do we fall back? Nope, not yet. In that case, threaten their flank. Still holding. Ridiculous. I have to admit it's ridiculous. This does expose our flank, but I don't care. Because it's an insta-break. So we don't care. Cover their flank, drop out a square. Now if they charge, we charge. Problem solved. In the meantime, continue to say hello. Actually, goodbye. These lightly protected irregular foot. And wheel the cataphracts around. There's always a chance with the rear attack. It works. They won't turn their flank to us because it's only lights and we're already in charge range. But that being said, good. Too bad. Right, keep holding out in the enclosures. That should be game. Getting a cheers man, so it looks like that's the end of this match. Here we go. So, to start with, I do have to say there was an element of luck in this match in these fragged cataphracts just holding out long enough for my pike phalanx to push away from danger. Had they broken and we'd lost our pikes, it wouldn't have necessarily meant defeat, but it certainly would have meant a longer grind than this. This unit also rallied up from fragged. Pretty impressive. The enclosure that I was initially entrenched in didn't end up being much of a factor. The only role it played was in protecting one of my units of master archers from a lancer charge. But other than that, it wasn't really a factor because I pushed out from it. Mainly because Mouser was starting to slow down and trying to nibble at my flanks, and I thought, you know, I could pull back and just sit here, but then we'd probably draw because it was not really possible to assault into here en masse. So I came out and was regretting it for a little while when things got messy, but it all worked out in the end. Had this continued, we would have destroyed these two units and this unit. And these pikes probably would have had to square up what with the cataphracts being behind them. So I think had things gone on, we would have been in a pretty good way anyway. Other than that, skirmish superiority on this left wing certainly helped me. And Thurioforo, I can't really stand up to cataphracts in the open at least, and that was useful. I think also the Grey Mouser's superior number of light horse couldn't really come into play because of all the rough ground. I could hide a lot of my light foot in there. Had they had more free reign, it could have been annoying for them to get rear charges and the like. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. Once again, luck did play its part here. So I do need to acknowledge when I have good luck. You know, it's so easy to see when you've had bad luck and just, you know, be mad about it. But it's really important to also acknowledge when this kind of thing happens so that the next time you have terrible luck, you can remember the time you had good luck and that it all evens out in the end. So this has been another match in the Chaos Tourney. Good game to the Grey Mouser, as always. Till next time.